What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Pokeblock Podcast. I am HoopsandHipHop, and today is going to be an interesting one as always, but in particular because it is, as of the recording of this and the upload of it, we're about less than a week actually from the Crown Tundra releasing, which is a big deal because we've essentially been waiting all year for it. This is sort of the big thing for Pokemon this year that's going on, and so I just essentially wanted to talk about it and get one more, I guess, speculation type of conversation in before it's out there in the wild and we get to play it and everything. And in order to do that, I've actually brought along Mr. HoodlumCallum, a PokeTuber veteran, a legend. How's it going, man? Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm okay. Well, firstly, thank you. You didn't call me Hoodlum Scrafty. That is a great start.
Yeah.
So many people call me that. I mean, it's fine. I am Hoodlum Scrafty. You know, it's still who I am. But you know, you got the updated name. Right. Thank God. You said I was a legend. It's so weird because I always considered myself new to the community, but I guess now that time has went on, I am one of the older figures, so it's very weird.
That's kind of how I feel. Like every once in a while, people will sort of say that you're like that. Like they'll refer to me as like, I guess, like a staple of like the PokeTubing community or one of the higher ups, and I'm like, I don't feel like that. I just feel like I'm just like this guy that just posts videos and that's
I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan making videos, and just other people, like a lot of people watch them. It's nothing crazy.
Right, yeah. All right, so, we're like I said, we're going to get into a big old Crown Tundra discussion. Before I do that, though, really quick, I do have to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the podcast that make it possible. So with that being said, today's episode is brought to you by the Tax Defense Group. The team of professionals at the Tax Defense Group are passionate about helping taxpayers resolve their tax debt. Their services include basic tax preparation, tax audit, resolving large tax debt, and more. They actively represent taxpayers throughout the entire USA, so if you need help resolving your tax issues, contact the Tax Defense Group. You can give them a call today at 800-850-7973 to get started. That number again is 800-850-7973, and you can visit them online at thetaxdefensegroup.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Junkie. Are you thinking about starting a business or a side hustle? For all businesses to be successful, you need a website. Junkie offers website development, content writing, and SEO services for business websites. So call Junkie today and get your side hustle on at 805-587-7966, and you can visit them online at thewriterjunkie.com. You can also check out our website at ucaststudios.com. That'll be in the description as well. Alrighty. So with that out of the way, so like I said, the Crown Tundra's sort of been the thing that we've been waiting for all year. The Isle of Armor was fun, but we knew that the meat was in the Crown Tundra. We knew that was the big one. So now that it's just like a week away, like, do you personally think it's going to live up to hype? What are you hoping to see out of it? What are you most looking forward to? Just what are your thoughts on it?
Gotcha. Crown Tundra. I mean, I was gonna ask first, did you choose me specifically because it's based in Scotland? Or is this coincidence?
You know, I didn't even think about that. That's actually super funny. I just picked you because, like, you were someone I hadn't talked to yet.
Yeah, so, gotcha. That's funny. It's based in Scotland, so that's, I don't know. I mean, well, it's so weird. I thought Scotland was already included in Galar, but I guess apparently it's not. They're adding Scotland as DLC. So I'm super excited for that. I think, you know, the Scotland representation.
How does that? Yeah, like that's a good note to start off on, actually. Like, what is it like to sort of have your country like one like dedicated like I guess like a sub-region almost of Pokemon?
It's sick because like I've got this friend that he was always kind of like fantasizing about creating a ROM hack of, you know, a Pokemon game set in Scotland, and it's just kind of cool that like 4 years later, talking to him about it, it's actually a real thing. That's, you know, I didn't expect Scotland to be added to Pokemon so soon, so it's super dope. I'm really I don't know, it might not be the best representation because it's literally just ice, but I mean, Scotland is cold.
Yeah, that's super dope. And I mean, like, I don't know. It was probably up there for me too as a place to like get a region, because I was always just like, man, I want there to be bagpipe music in Pokemon, and then we got it was chilled and it was awesome. So I'm super excited for that too. But like as far as I guess what we know about it so far, is there anything that like you're particularly excited for and or like hoping that we get in it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm really excited about the new Reggies, and I also really like the Galarian birds. I'm not really sure how they come to exist, because isn't it like, isn't mythical Pokemon meant to be the ones that there's multiple of, not legendaries? Like, I don't know how that works.
Mythicals I think are sort of like rarer than legendaries.
Are they? Meltan's mythical, and there's like millions of them.
Right, it's really weird because I don't think there is a one set rule, but the way that I guess heard it described is that like mythicals are sort of to the point where they like people don't even know if they're real or not.
Gotcha.
Whereas legendaries are like sort of like people know they exist, they're just like insanely rare.
Gotcha. So, okay, I don't know.
They're always changing their rules though, because it's like now we have mythicals that evolve and legendaries that get regional variants. So
I'm glad they're changing their rules though. Like they used to be stubborn, like legendary Pokemon can't evolve, and now Generation 7 and 8 onwards, legendary Pokemon do evolve now. And we've also got how they changed how evolutions evolve. It's like, yeah, sure, you can evolve Eevee into Umbreon with a Duskstone. Someone outside. My bad.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I don't know.
Did they add like Umbreon and Espeon getting stone evolutions too?
This game, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this is the game that they did that. Before that, I'm pretty sure they do.
Because I remember seeing like Leafeon got the Leaf Stone and Glaceon got an Ice Stone, which I was super happy about. But yeah,
okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm actually not 100% sure on that. But I know, they did change evolution methods to make it easier, which is, I don't know. It just shows that they're finally they're not being as stubborn. They're open to try new things. So that like, yeah, sure, let's have Galarian legendary Pokemon. That just, I don't know, opens a whole bunch of possibilities for the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's super dope just because it's like particularly with the birds and the Reggies, those were sort of things that were like off the table before, and so now that they've happened, it's like it feels like almost there's nothing that's off the table. Like
the Reggies I'm really curious about, because like where does Regigigas fit into that?
Right, yeah, and Regigigas is, I mean, it's going to be added in as like, because it's a legendary and they're adding in all the legendaries, but it's going to be interesting if it's like part of their story and not just kind of in the raid section.
Is Regigigas going to gain like 2 extra marks on its chest or whatever to represent Regieleki? I don't think that's going to happen, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the raid stuff too. I really enjoy. I play Pokemon Go a lot, so I've always liked the raiding part of Pokemon Go. So the fact that Sword and Shield has it is really cool too, and the co-op raid mode, I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think it's just rental Pokemon you get to use.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And then like as you catch Pokemon, you can use them too.
I guess that's kind of cool, I guess, because it just saves people from blitzing through it with Zacian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm honestly, just for me, I am hoping that all of this, because all this, obviously the whole thing is just based around like legendary Pokemon and like, I guess sort of just why they're all here in this area. And so it's really kind of building itself up to be this like big lore filled thing. And I think my biggest hope is that it just like the story, whatever it is, really kind of lives up to that and like gives us a bunch of lore and like backstory for things. Because it's like, obviously when it comes to story in Pokemon, it's a total crapshoot as to what you're gonna get. So it's like they're getting my hopes up, and I just hope they follow through with that.
I think Pokemon always do a really good job at giving I mean, giving Pokemon, like the actual creatures themselves, like good lore, like they're good at creature building, and but I don't know about story. The storyline, storyline with Pokemon's always a bit of a, I don't know.
Right, and that's kind of what I mean. Like, I want to know like why the Reggies are here. Where did they come from?
I hope they give a good reason, instead of just something vague.
Right, stuff like that. So, is there one thing in particular that I guess hasn't been like confirmed necessarily that you're sort of wanting to be included?
Ooh, that's actually I don't know. That's actually a really good question. Well, I don't. Are we allowed to talk about like leaked stuff on here or?
Depends on how if it's like super spoilery, probably no. But if it's something smaller,
I guess not. Well, I mean, I guess you could just cut this out if it's too spoilery. Have you heard about the Calyrex forms?
I have not heard about that. No.
Yeah, apparently there might be like 2 forms of Calyrex or something, and I'm hoping they're actually real so it can redeem that Pokemon for me because I really don't like Calyrex. So I it's just so weird looking. I really don't like it. Right. So I want to like it though.
Yeah. I actually am working on a video that sort of like attempts to explain Calyrex and like what it is.
Gotcha.
And I think the biggest thing about it is that it's like it's just weird looking with its giant weird head. But I mean, other than that, it's got a lot of good things going for it. Like I think the design is pretty, in terms of like the inspiration, is pretty good.
Gotcha. But the inspiration of a Pokemon can really save it too, because that's why I ended up quite liking Alolan Dugtrio, because I found out the inspiration of it. For Calyrex, I'm mainly just I think it's the typing of it as well. It's like we've already got Celebi as a grass psychic, so I just don't want another grass psychic legendary, man. Can you have something? Make it grass fairy, something else, please.
Yeah. I can feel that, and that's actually a thing that I'm really wanting them to sort of, I guess, explore a bit, because it is really similar to Celebi in that it's got the same typing, and it doesn't do time travel, but it can like see into the past and future.
Oh, really?
So it's like, yeah, that's what it says on the website.
Gotcha.
So it's like pretty similar in that vein too. And like, I don't think it has anything to do directly with Celebi, but I'm hoping that whole part of it is sort of like, I hope they do something with that, because that's like a really interesting thing to give a Pokemon in terms of like what it can do. So
yeah, I got you.
And it has potential too. So
yeah, like I said, I'm hoping it can grow on me, because right now I really don't like that mon, and that's like the worst part of the DLC for me, because it's kind of like one of the main focuses of anything. Like
right.
So I want to like it, but I don't know, just not the biggest fan of its design, and I think a lot of people feel the same. So and there's also Galarian Slowking, not a big fan of it either.
Interesting. What don't you like about it?
The eyes. If they just removed the eyes or made them different, I would probably like it more.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like the design of it and Slowbro, like I'm fine with. I just sort of wish that Slowking would have been like a different type than Slowbro, because like I know they're split evolutions, but it like sort of feels just too samey for me, and maybe that's like, I don't know. I feel like part of it is also due to the fact that Slowpoke and Slowbro were the only regional variants that we got in Isle of Armor, and so that was sort of a big letdown. And
yeah.
So it's like they left a sour taste in my mouth, and that's a big thing that I personally am hoping for, is like, maybe not, I mean, other Galarian forms, of course, like I would love that, but like just like other Pokemon in general that we don't know about yet, which may or may not be happening depending on what is true or not true.
Yeah, according to like data mines and stuff like that right now, not guaranteed, but like because they're doing DLC the way they are now, there's a good chance that they've just not put it in the game yet. So like you don't actually know till it's out, which
right.
You know, you can keep holding out hope. I don't know. From Pokemon's perspective though, I totally understand why they're like being really stingy with content, because they gotta. Like, they're this company. How long's Pokemon been going for? It's 1 year older than me. 24 years. So they wanna, like, if they wanna exist for another 24 years, they gotta drip feed us everything they can while also keeping content. Like, at least, you know, they're in a tough position, because people are like, oh yeah, just produce a game for 3 years. We can wait, and it's just like, from a business standpoint, they can't. So. I don't know. Like, I get it, but obviously, as a fan's perspective, I would love to see more regional variants, and I don't want to see everything before it comes out. But I guess this is also their first time doing DLC, so they're probably very scared, and they want to make sure people know what they're getting, you know, what they're putting the money into. So
yeah. Well, I mean, like, as far as like I think it's been like a really good value, or at least I think it will be, because the Isle of Armor was, I mean, it was more or less just sort of like a playground than anything else. But considering that was essentially only $15, I thought that was really good. And Crown Tundra seems like it's got even more to it. So
yeah, Crown Tundra is going to be where the meat is. Yeah,
they did that really well as far as converting the third version game into this. Just because it's probably more cost effective for them, because they don't have to put, I mean, they are putting out the whole bundle pack with everything else, but they don't have to go through the process of actually making a whole nother game.
Yeah.
And we're also getting like way more than what we would have got in a traditional third game too.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. So. I'm quite happy with how the DLC's coming out. I don't know, like, I know that I think I'm one of the few people that actually did complete their Pokedex in the Isle of Armor, because I just I don't know, I enjoy the DLC. I don't know, like, the Isle of Armor was a little lackluster besides just catching all the Pokemon. I don't know, I wasn't too interested in the Urshifu storyline. That's another Pokemon I'm not really too fond of, Urshifu, but don't know. It's so weird. I feel like the legendaries recently either are really, really good or really, really just I don't care about. I don't know. It's so strange.
So with Urshifu, like, do you just not like its design, or was it because the story was lame, or what was that?
Yeah, I think it's the design. The story was kind of meh. Also, the story didn't really do it any favors. I don't really care about Kubfu, and it's just the fact that there's a split of them, and the Gigantamax is the I don't know. It just feels like an unnecessary split, and the only reason they did the split is for their Virgin exclusive thing that they've got going on.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know.
For me, it's mostly like just because they don't give legendaries, unless they're like the box art legendaries, that much story. Because I mean, Urshifu and Kubfu, they sort of had a story, but it was hardly anything. It was sort of just like a throw-in type of thing.
Yeah. I can't even tell you what it is about. I forgot.
Right. And then you've got Zarude, which is pretty much just going to be a gifted mythical Pokemon, it looks like, which is super dumb. So I don't know. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that it's just going to ramp up with the Crown Tundra, because like I said, it just looks like it's going in that direction. And I sort of feel like if this is going to lead into Diamond and Pearl remakes, which it really looks like it's going to, and that's all about myths and legends and stuff like that, that things are going to the pace is going to be picked up in that department.
Gotcha. Why do you say that about the Diamond and Pearl remakes? Like, why is it?
Well, I mean, there's just a lot of different things that kind of parallel to it. Like there's small things, like the fact that it's just like a snowy, cold place, just like Sinnoh was, and there's like the whole legendary focus. You've obviously got like the Reggies that would have to have something to do with Regigigas, and Regigigas was in Sinnoh. And then there's also a bigger thing that this, I'm talking about this in an upcoming video, so this will be like a slight spoiler for that video. But I was just kind of looking around, just doing research about it in general, and one of the crown jewels of the UK, which of course Galar is based on, and we know the crown Tundra is what this whole thing is called. So it's got that very royal theme, is a coronet, and that's exactly what Mount Coronet is named after. So it's like, I mean, I could go on with other things like that too. So it's just like those types of things. It's just like, it's like there's no actual confirmation that Sinnoh remakes are happening, but I would like, I can't believe that just is a coincidence with everything else that's going on.
I'm trying to remember, has there been previous times where they've hinted at a game and then that's actually came out like...
so with obviously the big one was the Strange Souvenir in X and Y.
Yeah, that was for Sun and Moon, right?
And then there was a small hint in X and Y also about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because there was some NPC you could talk to that was like talking about rubies and sapphires and their anniversary and stuff like that.
So there's also, actually, now that I just remembered I saw a post on Twitter like the other day about apparently I think in the Pokemon Black 2 White 2 in the Poke World Tournament, there's literally a character called X.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
There's a character called X.
And Colress is kind of sort of a big hint too, because he gives a speech at Black 2 about like essentially mega evolution, but he doesn't use those words. He like just describes it. So yeah, they like to do that stuff a lot too. And so I don't know. And the timing just seems right, because next year is the 25th anniversary, and that would be sort of like a thing that you could do that would be worthy of being like a 25th anniversary game.
Diamond Pearl remakes?
Yeah, because they're going to do something big.
Would you argue Diamond and Pearl like got a lot of people back into the franchise? Because like weren't people like disinterested with like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald? Like, would you say Black and White, Diamond and Pearl helped people?
I think that would be true, because Gen 3 is definitely like the time where people were sort of getting older and like falling away from it. But then I don't know what it was about Diamond and Pearl, whether it was just like the game was that good, or maybe they added a bunch of like evolutions to older Pokemon, but it's definitely, I would say, maybe other than like Gen 1, Gen 2, it seemed just kind of like feeling everyone out and hearing their opinions. It almost seems as if Gen 4 is sort of like right under Gen 1, Gen 2 as far as like beloved generations.
Yeah, like I think Gen 4, I hardly hear anybody dislike Gen 4. Like Gen 3 is always like 50-50 almost, if people love it or hate it. Same with Gen 5. Gen 4 I think is a very universally liked generation. I know one person that actually didn't play Diamond and Pearl because that's when it seemed lame to them, and Black and White got back into the game because they really liked Reshiram. But besides that one person, I think most people really like Diamond and Pearl. So that's just a personal experience. But
yeah,
maybe it was because it was on the DS, and the DS was like quite big.
Yeah, it was new and it was big. I bet that probably did have. And the only thing I can really say as far as like a knock on the game is that it was really slow. Like it moved really slow. But then they fixed that in Platinum, and then they added a bunch of other stuff too. So it's definitely, I mean, like one of the best games, period, in Pokemon. And it also sold really well too. I think Sword and Shield like just passed it, if I remember correctly. But before that, it was like the third best selling set of games, or like the fourth or something like that.
It'll be really interesting to see like a game that has two screens remade into a game that's got one. Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And I mean, I don't know. Like you think they would have to. They know that obviously tons of people want it, and they know that there's huge expectations for it. So I've been wondering if like, because like for me, there's no doubt that it's like in the works. It's just a matter of like when it would come out. And so like I kind of feel like, because I've always been sort of an advocate of like it's got to come out sometime in Generation 8. It just seems like now is the time.
I agree.
But with everything that happened with Sword and Shield, it almost makes me wonder if maybe they would sort of like, that would make them want to take a different direction with it or take more time on it or something like that. And so I'm almost wondering if like, I'm almost wondering what it even is going to come out like when it does eventually release.
But I'm pretty sure Sword and Shield's like the third most sold Pokemon game now, or fourth. Like it is
crazy. Like it's super good with selling, but obviously like there was a lot of controversy that came along with that. So
I'm wondering if it was the controversy that sold it, or if it was I don't know. I'm really curious as to what drove it. It's crazy. I think like what was third before it? Was it like Diamond and Pearl was third before it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Now Sword and Shield's third, so it's like Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, and then Sword and Shield. It's crazy, actually insane.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like the problems that I guess a lot had with the game are still there. Like after they got the chance to play it, but I remember right when the game came out that everyone, for the most part, was like, yeah, this is an awesome game. Like the criticism is just like mostly like not unfounded, I would say, but like it doesn't hurt the game at all. Like it's a really good game.
I think it is a really good game. The part of the game that sucks is it's just the online, the battles. I don't know if you do online battles versus friends, but they've made a 20-minute timer, and that just is not enough time. And it is
That's
so
weird.
detrimental. It ruins the game for me. It would probably be my favorite game otherwise.
Yeah, that's really weird, because wasn't it like 60 minutes before?
Yep, it was 60 minutes before, and then Let's Go, they made it 20 minutes, and then they just kept it for Sword and Shield for some reason.
That's weird. Yeah, that's really weird.
And the thing is, for local battles, they've got like settings that you can choose to make it so you have a 10-minute chess timer each instead of just 20 minutes overall, which a 10-minute chess timer, if you're clicking your moves really fast, can make the battle up to an hour long. But for some reason, they just don't have that option online. It's really frustrating.
Right. Yeah, that's weird. Because, I mean, for the most part, they've made online and competitive and all that stuff super, like, they've streamlined it so well that the quality of life has just been upped so much. So that's kind of interesting.
It's very weird, yeah.
Yeah, but rounding back into like Crown Tundra stuff, one thing that I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to, like leaks or data mines or anything like that, but I've been sort of, I guess, just getting other people's takes on it and watching their videos and seeing what they have to say. And one thing that I guess have really started to hope for recently, because I just heard another PokeTuber talk about it, is the legendary birds actually like be roaming legendaries like they were, I guess, in X and Y in other games. Because there's one clip in the most recent trailer where you see Galarian Articuno just like fly overhead over you, and it just like flies off into the distance. And they were saying that maybe that's like sort of it roaming, like you see it, you go find it, that type of thing. So that's one thing I'm really hoping for a lot. And I also am hoping they actually, like, we already know that they are bringing the following Pokemon back, and this is probably just like not gonna happen. It's a pipe dream for me, but it would be cool if they sort of took that to the next level and like added like 5, even if it was just 5 or 10 Pokemon that you could ride like in Let's Go, and kind of like built upon that would be super dope. Yeah,
that would be sick. Yeah, absolutely. The following Pokemon and Sword and Shield definitely seemed like a last-minute addition that they did. They were just like, okay, add this. It needs to be fleshed out a bit more. Like, it's got no personality. It's very lifeless. But it is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because obviously there are some Pokemon that just cannot keep up with you for whatever reason. There are some that do pretty good, but then the others just they don't. And another thing I did notice was in the couple little clips where they show Pokemon following you, it always seems like the Pokemon is right behind you, like they should be. So I'm hoping that's like a sign that they sort of have like fixed it and got it figured
Pokemon
out.
following you confirmed for the Crown Tundra?
Yeah, there's been a couple clips in the trailers where they've shown like a Hydreigon following you and Virizion and a couple others.
Gotcha.
So it's been confirmed.
I've not been keeping super up to date with it, to be fair. So that's hopefully it's fixed. Then hopefully, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't be showing it off if they hadn't adjusted it.
Right, and that's what I noticed was it was like it looked like it should, like it was in Let's Go, for instance, where it was like they were right behind you the whole time, and so hopefully that works out too.
Smashed Pokemon following you like that. They did such a good job on that.
They really did, and yeah, like I don't know. I hope the writing comes back too. Just from that, I mean, and Let's Go in general. I hope something happens with that someday.
You want another Let's Go game, or?
I would like it. Yeah, like I mean, because I don't know. I just felt like they could change things about it, but I felt like Let's Go's art style was just like perfect for Pokemon.
Yeah, I really liked Let's Go. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that really enjoyed it. I don't know. I would like them. I'm not sure. I like it, but maybe make it more main series-esque. I mean, it was already main series enough, but I think the way you catch Pokemon, I did enjoy it at first, but after going back to it, I decided I didn't really like it. Because like once you're out of practice, it's just boring. I don't know. I don't enjoy the catching Pokemon anymore. But everything else in the game was really nice. If they did a Let's Go style Diamond and Pearl game, I'm not sure I would be happy.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that has sort of been in the back of my mind. Yeah. That, like if they made the Diamond and Pearl remake a Let's Go remake, everyone would flip their lid.
Yeah, everybody was so mad.
And that's kind of why I'm sort of I don't know, like as excited as I am for that to happen, I'm also nervous because it's like everywhere I go online that's talking about Diamond and Pearl remakes or Sinnoh or whatever, it basically is like this could either be like the greatest Pokemon game ever, or it could be just like the biggest disappointment of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people, when like everybody was like screaming for Ruby Sapphire remakes, and then they gave it to us, and everybody liked it at first, but like now that years have went by, people seem to dislike it and think that the original games are better. And I enjoy the original games more, to be honest.
Which one was that?
Ruby Sapphire OS.
Oh, right. Yeah, I always think that's really. I'm not like a super like Hoenn fanboy or anything, but I always thought that was weird because other than the Battle Frontier not being there, for me it was kind of like it was pretty like 1-to-1 in terms of like the way they remade it. Like everything was there, it was intact. They added cool stuff like megas, and they added that whole really awesome storyline with C. Mauville, which was really cool. So
there's a few drawbacks that I can mention. Like I know they did streamline it a little bit to where, like, you know, when you beat the 4th gym, they just teleport you to the 5th gym basically instantly, instead of having you travel back. And then there's also the fact that they just randomly give you a Latios or Latias in the middle of the story. Like that's just like, okay, well, and then obviously there's also Mauville City is terrible in that game too. So there's a few drawbacks, but I don't know if there are enough to call them terrible games. I still enjoyed them.
Right. Like, yeah, I would say for me, those I could see why someone would like not like that, but it wasn't like a big deal for me at all. Yeah. So
I don't know. I liked ORAS on my first playthrough. I've not really had the chance to play it much since, so I might pick it up again soon. I don't know. I think I do like the originals more. Anyways, but Crown Tundra.
Yeah. So I mean, the other thing that I've been looking forward to that like no one is talking about just because it's like a stupid little detail is the fact that there's actual like NPCs, and it seems like there's like towns to some degree in it. And I'm really looking forward to that just because it's like I feel like towns and NPCs, they always have something cool to offer, whether it's like cool details or just like people to interact with or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm really also hoping, continuing on the line of things I want to be included, that we either get like a couple character, like a new characters that we haven't yet seen that are introduced. I'm really wondering if there's going to be like a rival character, because obviously we had a rival in Isle of Armor, so I'm wondering if they're going to do that again. And then I also, like, this is probably another pipe dream thing, but I also would really like to see an older character of some kind just randomly pop up. Because Sword and Shield has been like really just detached from everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Sun and Moon had Grimsley, Colress, probably some other characters we've been getting, but Sword and Shield is in its own bubble. I see what you're saying. So an older character coming back would actually be super solid. Like even if it's just a professor or something.
For sure.
I'm trying to think what professor would really fit the Crown Tundra though. Like what's it all about? Like exploration? Is there a professor that specializes in that?
I think there's a professor that does like, I want to say Professor Rowan does, or not Rowan, Birch does habitats, which I don't know, that's kind of stretching it, but I don't know, really any one of them would be great. And there's also a bunch of like side professors too, like you've got I don't know, you've got like the smaller professors, you've got like the PC box people, literally anyone could show up and I would be fine. Like Looker is a big person I want to see, just because he's been in every Pokemon game and he randomly isn't here. So
I wonder why they're doing this. It's Sword and Shield does feel different in that sense, where it's not really tied into the rest of the series actually.
Right, which is strange because it's like with Unova, like we saw this before with Unova, and it made sense because at the time it was the only region that wasn't based in Japan, so it was by default super isolated. But now it's like we've got more non-Japanese regions, and with Galar specifically, it's right next to Kalos. Like we know it is. Like there's a NPC in the game that says they like swam from Kalos to Galar, which is like referencing the whole like English channel. So it's like we know it's there, so it really is weird that you just don't see anybody. Like I've heard a theory that like it could take place like in the far future of the franchise, because Opal has been a gym leader for like 50 years, and I don't think the gym system has been around like for a super long time, or like not necessarily like I think Pokeballs themselves have even only been around for like 40, 50 years by the time like the first game started. So I don't know, there's different ideas out there, but either way, I'd like to see something.
Something to tie in more. I'm done with that. Yeah, there's so much they could do with the DLC. So many of my friends think they're going to announce a third DLC. Do you think that's possible, or do you think they're just going to be done after this one?
I wouldn't say I like believed it before, but I was like, I guess I thought it could be possible before, but now that they've announced that bundle pack that has both expansions, I think that pretty much seals it that there's not going to be.
That's true.
So I think from here on, because if we look at the timeline, this comes out end of October, and then that leaves about 4 months until Pokemon Day in February, and that's going to be a big Pokemon Day because, as we stated, it's 25th anniversary. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to have the Crown Tundra that's going to have its big blowout, and they're essentially going to promote it for the rest of the year, and then they'll go quiet from January to the end of February when they have that announcement. Lay something just massive on us.
Yeah, they usually announce stuff on Pokemon Day.
Yeah,
kind of like their thing.
Yeah, because like even I didn't realize this. I recently heard this, but like I guess just a few years ago they made Pokemon Day like an actual formal thing to where it was like almost a holiday sort of. And yeah, they've always announced something on that day. Like they did Sun and Moon on that day. Last year, even though it was like an off year, sort of, they announced Zarude on that day. So they've always got something that they're like prepared to show off.
Yeah, so. They also did Pokemon of the Year thing.
Oh yeah. So
it's funny. Pokemon Day is actually my birthday.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's it's like a birthday present every year. It's super dope.
That is dope. But yeah, I mean,
you convinced me that we're getting Diamond and Pearl remakes next year. It better happen.
I'm so convinced. Like I would genuinely be shocked because it's like the stars really all do align.
The thing is though, like Pokemon always throw a spanner in the works. Like it's like going back to Black and White. Everybody thought Pokemon Gray was coming next, so then they did Black and White 2 with X and Y. Mm-hmm. People thought Z was coming, then they gave us ORAS, and then I think I don't know what we were thinking, but then they gave us Sun and Moon, and then people thought we'd get Stars, and then we got Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So I feel like we very well could get Diamond and Pearl remakes, but there will maybe be a spin on it. Maybe it'll be set in the future. Maybe it won't be remakes. Maybe it'll be a sequel. Maybe Diamond and Pearl sequels. Right. I feel like there will be some spin on it. I don't think it'll just be flat out remakes, but I could be wrong.
I could honestly see that too, because that is very true that they specifically don't like people to try to like be able to predict them.
Yeah, like you can predict them kind of, but there's always like something different. They always throw something different in there to mix it up. Like,
like even the expansions are sort of a switch because that is very true. Like I think before the expansions were announced, I was thinking there was going to be Sword and Shield 2 because of how Hop could be a professor in the sequel. That just made, and also the fact that we've got Bede and Marnie as gym leaders. That just made sense. It just made perfect sense to be a Sword and Shield 2. But then we got the we'll see. It's gonna be like the next several months and even like into next year is gonna be super. It's gonna be a good time for Pokemon, like regardless of whatever happens.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Like obviously the darkest hours of Pokemon is when they don't have a new game coming out, but there's other things to do. I mean, well, I think the darkest year for Pokemon was like 2015 because there was literally nothing.
Nothing.
But since Pokemon Go's come out, I've always had something to put my time into Pokemon related wise. So, yeah, every year is a good year for a Pokemon fan, and I'm excited to see what they come out with next.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's probably a pretty good place to leave off. So we will leave it there.
Yeah.
But thank you, dude, for coming on. And I imagine you're probably streaming the Crown Tundra or something like that when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to stream it day one and then focus on breeding a bunch of new Pokemon to do battles with my friends with. That's my goal mainly.
Dope. So if you guys want to check out Callum and all of his Crown Tundra stuff, links to him will be in the description below. And with that said, we'll be back next week, and next week the actual expansion will be out itself. So we'll definitely be, once we have it in our hands, we'll have a bunch of stuff to talk about, and it'll be great. So I will leave it at that. Hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week. And until the next one, as always, I will smell you guys later.